All right, for this problem we have cosine theta plus cosine squared theta equals 3 cosine squared theta. So, and we're asked to solve for theta between 0 and 2 pi. For a problem like this where you have both a cosine and a cosine squared, or a sine and a sine squared, or any other trig function and that same trig function squared, you know that you're going to need to factor in order to find the answer. So with problems like that, what we want to do is get everything onto one side and leave the other side equal to 0, the other side of the equation. So let's get this equal to 0 by subtracting 3 cosine squared theta from both sides. So this will add to 0, and on the other side we get cosine theta minus 2 cosine squared theta is equal to 0. Now we're going to factor this. So here we can factor out a cosine. We've got a cosine in both of those terms. So we can factor that cosine theta out. And then what goes in here is this divided by cosine. So cosine divided by cosine is 1. 2 cosine squared minus cosine is 2 cosine theta. And now the reason that we wanted to factor this is because the zero product property says that if we're multiplying two things together and getting 0, then either this is 0 or this is 0. So we can set those equal to 0 separately. So we get cosine theta equals 0, and over here we get 1 minus 2 cosine theta equals 0. And with this one we can subtract 1 from both sides and divide by 2, negative 2, so we get cosine theta is going to be equal to 1/2. And now we look on our unit circle and find all the places where cosine is either 0 or 1/2. Let's see, so cosine is 1/2 at pi over 3. It's 0 at pi over 2. And it's 0 at 3 pi over 2. And it's 1/2 at 5 pi over 3. So we've got pi over 3, pi over 2, 3 pi over 2, and 5 pi over 3. And those are the 4 answers for that problem.